question number one, quite topical at the moment, which is, what are your feelings on Snapchat, from James?
Oh, it's a biggie, innit? So Snapchat, everyone, as you read that, everybody listening just kind of went, oh. Snapchat was just so massive. It was the thing, wasn't
So
it?
big.
And it was so big, and the guy who owned Snapchat, he was worth, get this, he was worth more than Donald Trump. This was a month ago. He was worth more than Donald Trump. He was worth more than Richard Branson.
No, more than Richard Branson?
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's what. He was worth more than Richard Branson. He was worth more than Donald Trump. However, since the decline of Snapchat and how since they floated it, since the IPO, it's gone down so heavily that now he's only worth as much as Oprah Winfrey. So, you know,
guy.
he's just down to his last 3.8 bill. So when he was up to at least 5.86 bill. So, you know, the thing with Snapchat is there's two parts to this. There's the story of what's happened to Snapchat, which we're all aware. Instagram came along and punched them in the face and just stole all their ideas. And Snapchat had one major flaw, and that major flaw is you can't find people. It's such a personal thing that you have to be able to say, here's my Snapchat. No, it's not my name because someone else has got John Smith, so it has to be John Smith 872. And therefore, finding people is hard. There's no search engine. Also, there's no recommended people. Oh, you like this? Maybe you'll like this person as well. And because of that, they're also not featuring other people's Snapchat content. There's no way of them saying, do you know what's the most popular thing at the moment? It's this. So it was a really fantastic thing that we all had, and we all really enjoyed sending sort of secret pictures to ourselves. Because let's face it, the real reason why Snapchat started was so that we could send nude pictures of ourselves for 10 seconds and just go, and here's my dick, by the way. And in 10 seconds, it's gone.
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
But in 10 seconds, it's gone, and nobody knows. So that's why it got popular amongst the kids. And then obviously businesses came involved, and then Instagram did their thing and it's gone. So where is it right now, other than the fact that the IPO has literally lost 60%, and can they bring it round? The answer to that is yes, they can bring it round, because we're still dealing with a multi-billion-pound company, and they've only got to make one tweak, and then all of a sudden we'll all go, oh yeah. The problem is they've been struggling with the tweaks that they've been making. So they've updated it a bunch of times. They brought out those Snapchat glasses, do you remember them? The spectacle snap specs. And everyone kind of went, oh, that's really exciting. But again, just like everything else, I felt that they really missed a trick and fucked up with that. Because when that came out, I was like, oh, that's great. I really want a pair of those. Could I get a pair? No. And I think this idea of sold out, which we talk about a lot, is amazing. The power of sold out. But give us a chance. You know, like if you live in New York or London, and then there's like a couple hundred pairs, and you have to go to New York or you have to go to London, but they didn't roll out afterwards. So there was no chance for the people who aren't in the major cities to go and find them so much. And then all of a sudden they were going for hundreds of pounds on eBay to get a pair of specs, and you're like, oh, fuck, can't be arsed. And then all of a sudden we just went, oh, I don't care anymore. And they went. And now who gives a shit about specs? Nobody. And so everybody, including most of you guys, have actually migrated off Snapchat and just gone, oh, I'm not really fussed anymore. As have I, as have you, as have everyone in this office. And so can they bring it around? Yes. But are we on Snapchat? No. So what I would say is this definitely leads to opportunity, because people still are on Snapchat. So I was the last person, I don't know if you know this, technically, I was the last person to jump ship from MySpace. Everyone in the whole world left MySpace except me. And there was a day where I was looking around being like, somebody talk to me. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have to go onto Facebook. And I loved MySpace. I was really a MySpace person. I loved it. And everyone left me and I was just there. But
the last person.
I was just me. It was just literally me. And what's his name? The guy who's Tom. It was me and MySpace Tom being like, you still there, Tom? And he was like, I'm still there, Damian. And so, you know, I think the same thing with Snapchat. There are still people who love Snapchat because it still offers something different to Instagram. So Instagram have stole all the best bits. However, there's some stuff that Instagram cannot steal, which is the power of something that only lasts for 10 seconds and then you never see it ever again. You know, there is something to be said about a really fun strategy around Snapchat. The problem is there's not as many people on there. But if you think of it like this, if you are, I say this quite a lot, if you want to teach singing for a living, what do you need? You need 20 students. That's it. You don't need 1 million students because you can't fit them in the day. You need 20 students. If you are in a niche band, you're not looking at having 50 million people buy your album. Those days are gone. What you're looking for to start with is building an audience. And if you've got an audience of 1,000 people, then that 1,000 people can really do damage. They can really look after you and they can put you in a position where you're making money. And if you think about it, can you find 1,000 people who are still absolute full-on Snapchatters? 100% you can. So where we're at with Snapchat is there's massive opportunity because one of the things that crops up all the time is noise. Everyone's on Facebook. It's like, so it's really hard to cut through the noise. And then Snapchat makes a couple of blunders. Instagram comes along, takes all their shit. Nobody's on Snapchat. And now everyone's going, oh, fuck Snapchat. No one's on it anymore. It's like, well, you can't win. Like, there's no noise on Snapchat. Now's the time. And people are going, no one uses it. Everybody's on Instagram. So everyone's like, oh, it's really hard because of all the noise that's there. So it's like, well, pick one. Which do you like? Yeah. If you want, if you're just going for hardcore super fans of whatever it is that you do, then you can still win on Snapchat, and I wouldn't give it up just yet. However, saying that, it's not looking particularly good for Snapchat yet. But it's only going to take one slight tweak, and all of a sudden, there's a good chance that we go, actually, do you know what? Maybe we'll get back on Snapchat for another one, because it wasn't that long ago that we said a very similar thing about Instagram. In fact, Facebook floated, I don't know if you know this, but Facebook floated its on the IPO. IPO'd it several years ago, and Facebook lost 60% of its stock share. Wow. 60%. Like, now you look back and you go, Facebook is
indestructible.
It's indestructible, yeah, that's a good word for it. It's just a monster, it's indestructible. But when Facebook went through the process of the IPO, everyone said, you fucked it, you've gone the same way as MySpace, you've done a stupid thing, 60% has lost off it. And did Facebook come back? 100% they came back. So I'm not saying that Snapchat is dead. It isn't looking good, but there is still I don't care whether Snapchat goes. I don't care whether Snapchat stays. What I care about is that you are able to find an audience and get noticed. And I think there is still mileage in Snapchat until it goes. And when it goes, fine, you have something else. But if you can still build relationships using Snapchat, then why not still use it until it literally is, until it's like me and Tom on MySpace and there's no one else there anymore. So my feelings on Snapchat is I'm not using it as much. I should use it more. But what's the incentive when I'm not getting as much engagement back and I'm getting 10 times the engagement on Instagram? Well, the incentive is just to keep people warm and just keep going. I'm still here, because should everyone get back onto Snapchat, it would be good to have that momentum. Yeah, that's the main thing for it. So I'm still watching it. I don't know what's happening, but I do know that they've lost so much stock share that it's dangerous for the company.